Hi friends, this is Lulu Sketches. Today's video is a digital line art tutorial. So today I'm gonna go over my 7 tips for making clean, smooth line art. These tips apply regardless of what tablet you're using or what brushes you're using. Today I am using a Wacom Cintiq 22 HD. I made a video with all my digital art supplies that I've ever used, and that video has links to all my Photoshop brushes, so I will link that video down below. Before I get started, if you could give this video a thumbs up, that would help me out a lot. Okay, here are my 7 tips for clean line art. Number 1, make sure your tablet is installed correctly and that you're using the correct driver. This may seem like an obvious one, but it can cause a lot of problems. You can find the right driver for your tablet and computer online. If your tablet isn't installed correctly, the pressure sensitivity of your stylus could be off, which can result in pin pressure issues like wobbly lines or no tapering on your lines. Number 2, work at a high resolution. I always work at 300 dpi or higher. For characters, my canvases are usually around 8 by 10 inches. If I'm doing backgrounds, they're gonna be at least 11 by 14 inches at 300 dpi. It's really important to work at high resolution because if you're working too small, your line art will end up looking pixelated instead of smooth. Number 3, choose a brush based on what you want your line art to look like. When I want a gritty line art that resembles pencil, I like to use the Stumpy pencil brush. Here's an example of a drawing where I use the Stumpy pencil brush for my line art. It gives my line art a little texture, which I like. If you're using a brush like this and you want your line to be even grittier, you can just turn down the flow on your brush settings. If you want your line art to look super smooth and a really consistent line weight like you'd see in anime or manga, you can just use one of Photoshop's default hard brushes. For this, I have the flow and opacity at 100%, and I personally would recommend in your brush settings toolbar to have shape dynamics checked and also smoothing checked. That will give you that really clean, smooth line. Number 4, zoom in a lot. This is super important if you want your line art to look clean. Even if your line art looks sketchy when you're zoomed in, when you zoom out, it looks a whole lot cleaner. For this drawing I'm showing you here, I'm going for a smooth, kind of sharp line art that's dynamic. I'm using Shiyun's inking brush. This is the brush I use for the line art of all of my OOTG drawings, my outfit of the day drawings. You can see all those drawings on my Instagram, Lulu Sketches. With this brush, the line weight varies a lot. It's very dynamic, so you can make very thick brush strokes or very thin brush strokes with the same brush. I personally go into the brush settings and turn off texture. Number 5, use your whole arm instead of just your wrist when you're drawing. This can apply whether you're drawing digitally or traditionally. It's also important for the health of your drawing hand to give your wrist a break from time to time. So instead of just drawing from the wrist like this, try holding your stylus gently in your hand and then rotating your whole elbow to make quick, deliberate strokes. This is a great way to make long, clean strokes instead of a bunch of little sketchy strokes on your line art. For these longer, quick strokes, you'll see that I'm a little less zoomed in than I was before. So whether you're using a Cintiq, which is sitting up on your desk like this, or a tablet which is laying on your desk, when you're drawing from the elbow, rest your elbow on the desk to make those long, deliberate strokes. Sometimes when I'm working on my Cintiq at work, I forget to rest my elbow on my desk and then I'm working from my shoulder, and then I don't realize it till later when my shoulder really hurts. So for me, the best way to not pain my wrist or my shoulder is to work from the elbow. But you kind of just gotta try out different methods and see what works for you. Number 6, Command Z is your friend. If you're doing these quick long strokes from the elbow, sometimes your aim isn't going to be great. Since you're drawing digitally, you can be picky about what line you end up with. I keep my hand on Command Z when I'm drawing my line art. So this is better than just drawing a line and then trying to fix it by erasing pieces off. It's never gonna look as smooth and clean. The line is gonna look a lot smoother if you get it right with one stroke. So just keep undoing and trying to get that line just right. Number 7, rotate your canvas. Certain angles are just gonna be hard to draw line art for, especially if you're trying to work from your elbow, but you're trying to. So when I'm drawing traditionally, I'll just spin the paper around to get a line correct. Digitally, you can do the same thing. I rotate my canvas with the R key in Photoshop. Then you can draw your line art at any angle that is easiest for you. And to straighten your canvas back out, hit Escape. those are my 7 tips. There's a hidden 8th tip, and that's to practice, but you should know that by now. Just draw a lot and draw a lot of line art if you want to get better at line art. I hope this video was helpful. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And if you like my sweatshirt, this is my merch and it is for sale on my website. That is linked down below. Bye!